If you're planning a bikepacking trip, you know the single most important piece of gear you'll carry is your home on the road. Your tent. It's your shelter, your sanctuary, and your biggest decision. Today, we're cutting through the noise. We're going deep on the 15 best bikepacking tents you can buy right now, covering everything from featherlight shelters for racing to spacious palaces for comfortable touring. Kicking things off, let's talk about a tent that truly embodies the bikepack-specific movement, the Big Agnes Tiger Wool UL Bikepack. This tent has gained immense popularity because it nails the balance between being incredibly lightweight and packed with features. It's one of the lightest two-door, two-vestibule bikepacking tents you can find, with a trail weight hovering around 2 pounds 7 ounces. What really makes it stand out for cyclists is the 12-inch short stick pole set. Standard tent poles are often too long for handlebars or frame bags, but these short segments pack down beautifully, making it easy to strap to your bike without issue. The stuffed sack itself is a burly compression bag with daisy chain webbing, so you can securely attach it in multiple configurations. Beyond the bike-friendly features, the solution dye fabric is a huge plus. It uses significantly less water and energy to produce, but for you, the user, it means the fabric is highly resistant to UV fade. This extends the life and strength of your tent after countless days in the sun. Big Agnes also includes thoughtful details like a 3D gear shelf above your feet and external webbing to dry wet clothes, proving they understand the small comforts that make a big difference on a long tour. Now, if you love the Big Agnes ecosystem but need a bit more durability and interior volume, you have to look at its sibling, the legendary Copper Spur HV UL Bikepack. This tent is a favorite for a reason. It takes everything great about the standard Copper Spur, livability, ease of use, and quality, and optimizes it for the bike. The trail weight comes in around 2 pounds 15 ounces, so it's a bit heavier than the Tiger Wool, but that extra weight buys you a lot. It's a true freestanding tent, which makes setup on tricky ground much easier. The HV stands for high volume, and you feel it. The pre-bent poles and four-way hub design create near-vertical walls, giving you a 40-inch peak height and an interior that feels incredibly spacious and open, not tapered and claustrophobic. You get 2 large doors and 2 awning-style vestibules, which provide a massive 18 square feet of combined protected gear storage. Like the Tiger Wool, it features the 12-inch short stick pole set and a rugged compression stuff sack with daisy chains, making it a complete, ready-to-ride package. For riders who prioritize comfort and space after a long day in the saddle, the Copper Spur is often the top choice. Transitioning from the mainstream to the world of the truly ultralight and stormproof, we have the legendary Hyperlite mountain gear UltaMid 2. This is a different beast entirely. It's a minimalist, 4-season capable pyramid shelter designed for serious adventurers who demand performance. The magic here is the material, Dyneema Composite Fabric, or DCF. This stuff is 15 times stronger than steel by weight and is completely waterproof, which is how Hyperlite gets the weight of the tarp down to an astonishing 19.1 ounces. That's lighter than most one-person tents. It's a modular system. The base product is a floorless tarp that you pitch with trekking poles or a dedicated carbon fiber pole, which you have to buy separately. You can then add different inserts, like a simple mesh bug net or a full inner with a bathtub floor, to suit your trip. This versatility is incredible. Inside, it's a palace for a solo rider, with a massive 63 square feet of floor space and a 64-inch peak height. You can easily sit up, change, and even store your bike inside with you. The trade-offs? It's expensive, and the large footprint requires a bit more space to pitch properly. But for bomb-proof protection at a minimal weight, the UltaMid 2 is in a class of its own. Next up is a tent that has quickly become a top contender in the premium bikepacking space, directly challenging the classics, the NEMO Dragonfly OSMO Bikepack. NEMO has packed this tent with innovation. The headline feature is their proprietary OSMO fabric. The key benefit for you is that it has 3 times less stretch when it gets wet, which means your tent won't sag overnight in the rain and flap in the wind. Plus, It's made from 100% recycled yarns and is free of harmful chemicals. For bikepacking, it has all the right features. Shortened pole segments for easy packing, and a very durable roll-top dry bag stuff sack that straps securely to your bike. One of its most talked about features is the landing zone, which is a removable waterproof gear tub for the vestibule. It's a fantastic idea for keeping your gear organized and off the wet ground. The interior is well designed with great pockets and a stealthy dark green colorway that's perfect for finding discreet campsites. It offers a fantastic balance of weight, livability, and smart design, though some users note that setting up the landing zone can be a little awkward at first. It's a very compelling alternative to the copper Spur. But what if you love NEMO's innovations, but your top priority is shaving every possible gram? That's where we meet the NEMO Hornet Elite OSMO. This tent is an ultralight minimalist's dream. For a semi-freestanding tent with 2 doors and 2 vestibules, the weight is simply staggering. The 2-person version has a minimum trail weight of just 1 pound, 11 ounces. NEMO achieves this with a lighter version of their OSMO fabric and a more streamlined, minimalist design. It's packed with clever, weight-saving features. The patent-pending flybar is a tiny pole clip that dramatically increases the volume at your head so you don't feel claustrophobic, and it does so without adding any significant weight. It also comes with the Divi Cube stuff sack, a rectangular bag that packs more efficiently and makes it easy to split the tent components with a riding partner. Now, here's the crucial piece of advice you need to hear. While it's marketed as a 2-person tent, it is extremely tight for 2 adults. For the best experience, think of the Hornet Elite Osmo 2P as one of the most palatial, luxurious, and feature-rich solo shelters on the planet. Moving on to another icon in the tent world, MSR has adapted its legendary Hubba specifically for cyclists, creating the MSR Hubba Bikepack. The original Hubba is famous for its bomb-proof durability and incredible livability, and this version brings all of that to the bike. The key upgrades are, you guessed it, Bikepack specific. It has shorter DAC pole segments that pack down small, and it comes with an exceptionally well-designed waterproof handlebar bag. This bag even includes clever foam spacers that hold it away from your bars, leaving room for your hands and preventing interference with your brake and shift cables. What makes the Hubba so loved is its interior space. It uses a true rectangular floor, with no taper at the feet, which maximizes usable room. The zippers are straight, not curved, which makes them more durable and easier to operate with one hand in the dark. MSR also uses a high-quality PEU waterproof coating that is built to last, and they've added thoughtful details like internal pockets with cable pass-throughs for charging your electronics overnight. It's a premium, durable, and incredibly user-friendly option. Now for a tent that rethinks design to prioritize one thing above all else, headroom and livability. Let's look at the Cedar Summit Telos TR2 Bikepack. The standout innovation here is the tension ridge architecture. Instead of sloping down, the main crosspole actually arches upwards. This simple change has a massive effect, creating near-vertical walls and incredibly high doors. The result is an interior that feels unbelievably airy and spacious, far bigger than its footprint would suggest. You can sit up comfortably without your head touching the ceiling. This design also creates one of the best ventilation systems on the market. The high apex vent acts like a chimney, letting warm, moist air escape, while baseline vents near the floor allow cool air to enter, drastically reducing condensation. The tent is also incredibly versatile, with multiple setup configurations, including a semi-open hangout mode that turns the fly into a sunshade. The bikepacking version comes in 2 high-quality dry bags for packing, but it's worth noting a common piece of feedback. While the bags are great, getting the tent back into them can be a bit of a struggle. Alright, let's pivot to the undisputed champion of ultralight value. If you want to go light without emptying your wallet, you need to know about the 6 Moon Designs Lunar Solo. This tent offers an incredible space-to-weight ratio that is almost unmatched at its price point. You get a massive 26 square feet of living space, which is palatial for one person, and it has a packed weight of just 26 ounces, or 1 pound 10 ounces. It achieves this by using a non-freestanding, single-pole design. You pitch it with a single trekking pole set to 49 inches, or you can buy a dedicated 5-section carbon fiber pole from 6 Moon Designs that folds down short, making it absolutely perfect for bikepacking. The hexagonal shape is fantastic at shedding wind and rain, and the deep bathtub floor keeps you dry. The material is a silicone-coated polyester, or silpoly, which has the benefit of not sagging or stretching when it gets wet like traditional silnylon does. Now, the trade-offs for this amazing value. You do have to seam seal the tent yourself, or pay a little extra for the factory to do it, and like any non-freestanding tent, there's a small learning curve to getting a perfect pitch. From ultralight value, we now jump to the pinnacle of ultralight performance with a tent that is an icon on long-distance trails, the Zpacks Duplex Pro. This is the evolution of the legendary Duplex, a favorite of thru hikers for years, now updated with features that make it even better for all users, including bike packers. Its claim to fame is its mind-bogglingly low weight, starting at just 19.5 ounces for a 2-person shelter, thanks to its full Dyneema composite fabric construction. The Pro version introduces some fantastic upgrades over the classic model. It now has zippered storm doors with convenient magnetic toggles and new double L-shaped screen doors. This design provides a much wider opening and is far more user-friendly than the old rainbow-style door. The floor is also wider, at 50 inches, which means it can comfortably accommodate 2 wide, 25-inch sleeping pads side by side. A huge win for comfort. Like the UltaMid, it's a non-freestanding, single-wall tent that requires 2 trekking poles or dedicated tent poles to pitch. It demands a premium price for its cutting-edge materials and US-based manufacturing, but if your goal is to have the lightest functional 2-person shelter possible, this is it. For our next tent, we're heading to the UK, a place that knows a thing or two about wind and rain. This is the Terra Starlite 2. This tent is built for serious, all-weather adventurers who need a shelter that can handle a proper storm. Its strength comes from its classic tunnel tent design. This aerodynamic shape is incredibly stable in high winds, cutting through gusts rather than catching them like a sail. Terra uses premium, PFC-free fabrics with very high waterproof ratings, a 3,000mm hydrostatic head on the fly, and an impressive 7,000mm on the floor, ensuring you stay dry even in a deluge. But the killer feature for bikepackers is its packed length. The poles break down to an incredibly short 29 to 30 centimeters, or just over 11 inches. This makes it one of the most compact and easy-to-pack tents on this entire list. The trade-off for this incredible stormworthiness and packability is livability. It has a lower ceiling and only 1 door and 1 porch, so it feels more functional than spacious compared to a dome-style tent. But if you ride in challenging conditions, this is a fortress. Speaking of stormworthiness, what if you want expedition-grade strength in an ultralight freestanding package? Meet the SlingFin Portal 2. This tent is an engineering marvel, designed to be far stronger than any other tent in its sub-3-pound weight class. SlingFin achieves this by incorporating design principles from their heavy-duty mountaineering tents. The most innovative feature is the set of pre-installed internal guy lines. These crisscrossing lines connect directly to the pole structure, dramatically increasing the tent's lateral stability and preventing it from deforming in strong winds. It's a simple but incredibly effective system. The materials are also chosen for long-term durability, using silicone-impregnated fabrics that are highly resistant to UV and mildew, and they avoid the PU coatings that can break down over time. They even include extra zipper sliders pre-installed on the tracks, effectively doubling the lifespan of your zippers. The attention to detail is just incredible. For riders who venture into exposed, high alpine terrain and demand absolute reliability, the SlingFin Portal 2 offers peace of mind that few other lightweight tents can match. You can even upgrade to a beefier pole set for true 4-season conditions. Now, let's look at a tent that hits an incredible trifecta. It's lightweight, surprisingly livable, and more affordable than many of its competitors. This is the Marmot Superalloy 2P. This tent really punches above its weight, offering a two-person, two-door, semi-freestanding design with a trail weight just over 2 pounds, often for a significantly lower price than the big names. Its standout feature is the excellent interior space. Thanks to nearly vertical walls and a generous length, it feels remarkably roomy inside, easily accommodating taller hikers and providing enough headroom to sit up comfortably without feeling cramped. It holds up well in weather too, with testers reporting it stays dry in rain and stable in moderate wind. However, to hit that price and weight, there are a few quirks. The most common complaint is about the internal pockets. They are angled in a way that small or heavy items tend to fall out, which can be frustrating. Also, the standard pole segments are on the longer side at around 19.5 inches, making it a bit awkward to pack in some frame bags, so it's less Bikepack specific in that regard. But for the price, it offers fantastic performance and space. Okay, time for something completely different. What if you could ditch poles altogether? That's the promise of the Alpkit Aeronaut. This is a fascinating, innovative tent that uses an inflatable air beam instead of traditional aluminum or carbon poles. You simply inflate the single, curved beam with a bike pump. It uses a standard Schrader valve or a small foot pump. This design has two huge advantages for bikepacking. First, with no rigid poles, it's incredibly packable and can be stuffed into almost any bag. Second, it's virtually unbreakable in high winds. Where a normal pole might snap under extreme stress, the air beam just flexes and bounces right back. There is a bit of a learning curve. You need to make sure you inflate it to the correct pressure to get a stable structure. But once you have the hang of it, setup is very quick. The interior is cozy for 2 people, but works great as a roomy solo shelter. The main drawback reported by users is that in very heavy, persistent rain, water can sometimes pool on the flat section over the footbox. But for most 3-season use, it's a clever and remarkably resilient design. Circling back to comfort, what if your priority is maximum space for car camping, but you still want a tent that's light enough for the occasional bikepacking trip? That's the sweet spot for the NEMO Aurora 2. This tent is all about livability. It boasts massive interior volume, with steep vertical walls and a generous 44-inch peak height, making it feel like an absolute palace inside. It has a large, rectangular floor plan, 2 big doors, and 2 spacious vestibules. It's the kind of tent you wouldn't mind spending a rainy afternoon in. As a huge bonus, it comes with its own footprint included, which adds a lot of value and helps protect the floor for long-term use. The major trade-off here is weight and packed size. With a packaged weight of over 5.5 pounds and pole segments that are 21.5 inches long, this is the heavyweight on our list. It's not an ideal choice for ultralight, minimalist bikepacking, but if you're splitting the load with a partner, or if you have a larger touring setup and you value comfort above all else, the Aurora offers an incredible amount of space for the price. Finally, let's talk about a tent that has long been a favorite for its incredible balance of weight, features, and price. A true people's champion. The REI Co-op Quarter Dome SL1. This tent consistently earns praise because it delivers ultralight performance at a very accessible price. The minimum trail weight is just under 2 pounds, which is fantastic for a solo tent, especially one that doesn't cost a fortune. But it doesn't skimp on features. The design is incredibly livable, with vertical sidewalls that create a lot of elbow room, a surprisingly large vestibule for gear storage. It's a semi-freestanding design, which means the main pole structure supports the body. But you do need to stake out the corners at the foot end to maximize the interior volume and get a taut pitch. One important note for anyone shopping now: this specific model has been largely discontinued by REI and replaced by their new Flash series of tents. But you can still often find it on REI's used gear site or as a rental, which is a testament to its enduring popularity and value. And there you have it, 15 of the absolute best tents for any bikepacking adventure. From the stormproof SlingFin Portal to the ultralight Zpacks Duplex and the all-around amazing big Agnes copper Spur, there's a perfect tent out there for you. What tent are you riding with? Let us know in the comments below for more gear deep dives. Until next time, ride safe.